works that works with young people and with youth workers. Generally, we create educational materials and we work towards different topics that we think we work on various projects, most of them in Erasmus Plus, through other programs of the vision for ourselves is that we create things that are both fun and educational of value. So we try to create meaningful, impactful work. I think to an ethical way. So the Voice Project is one of those things that we've been creating together with partners from 4 other countries. We've been working on this project for more than a year now, and in that time we created for the Voice Project methodology of sorts for young people to be supported in their first steps into media creation so that their voices can be heard. In this project, we're aiming really to lean on inclusion and diversity of participants and to not have any barriers set before us. Emma, can you start the presentation?
Yeah. First, starting. Do you see it?
Yes.
Okay. So this is the slide about TFN, our organization, the Future Now Association. And these are the main objectives of the project that I just explained to you. You want to add anything for the crew, the voice crew, or the project itself?
If you want, I'm gonna give it over to you. If you want, you can open up your presentation from the lower right button so that it's full screen.
Yes.
We created. We've also been working on different other projects and project roles, and one of them is the methodology that we will be sharing together with them. Kind of product for youth workers to some activities for young people related to media literacy, media creation. So Emma, I think I'm giving you the floor from here on out.
Thank you. So before we dive into the reason behind this webinar, which is one of the voice materials, we'll do a quick energizer, emoji mood check-in, that's what we call it. And you already texted something in the chat, you introduced yourself, which is great. If you haven't, you still can do that. But now we'll be focusing on our moods. You can send 3 emojis that reflect your current state of being, your current mood. And then you can choose one and explain why you've chosen it, why you feel like this today. Yeah, understood? Can do that now. Okay, that's great. Does anyone want to explain why they feel the way that they do? I can tell you that the cloud in my emojis is because the weather right now is very cloudy. It's not sunny as usually. So that really reflects on my mood as well, but not in a bad way. I'm still happy that it's not cold. Really interested in the dancing lady in Mythilus emojis. I don't know if I'm pronouncing it correct. Would you like to explain why you chose this emoji? Or anyone else? Doesn't matter. Feel free to speak up to join. It should be interactive. Oh, it's very hot. Yeah, that's the rule. You can also unmute your microphones and speak as well if you feel comfortable with that. But thank you for explaining the ones that did. I guess we can continue maybe with the presentation and you can always get back to that and share whatever is on your mind. Is that all right? I count this as a yes. So this is why we're here today, the voice methodology. So yeah, in the voice project, as I already mentioned, yeah, we really do start, create, share, and include a lot of materials. Multimedia materials such as short videos, long videos, podcasts, infographics. We have a podcast also, and presentations such as this one. But we have also created a training platform, and this platform contains the fundamentals of our project and what we need, the needed background for every young person who wants to be a young journalist or in general wants to enhance their media literacy. And not only young people, but yet workers too, and anyone in general. So one of the courses in this platform is the voice methodology that we're about to dive in. You can take a look at it here. So what is this methodology? In general, the main goal is to empower young people to think clearly, act responsibly, use media for good, and make sure everyone's voice, especially those who are often left out, is heard. It is aimed at youth workers, but only because I can assure you that there are a lot of practical tools for everyone. Its structure facilitates the learning process because it follows a rapid flow of theory, then practice ideas to solidify this theory, then adaptable techniques for youth workers and tips for inclusivity. Because yes, it is important to note also that one of the main focus of the project are the marginalized groups such as people with disabilities, and at the end we will have an activity focused on inclusivity at the end of this webinar. I mean, so this is the the structure of the methodology. Then we can dive into media influence and how it shapes us. Firstly, none of us is a journalist or a social media influencer or anything. We're yet workers, so we use the tools of informal education. If you feel like you know something more, want to add, please do. This is just the framework, and exactly because we're not experts either, we'll start with the discussion because there are no wrong or right answers here. We'll dive into media influence and how it shapes us. But firstly, maybe we should shed some light into what is media. And for this question, I'll give you the answer, and then it's your turn. Media in the light that we're going to be observing it under is everything that sends a message. So it is literally everywhere. The TV, the news, your social media apps, the main means of mass communication. It started with oral storytelling in the preprint era, and now getting us to artificial intelligence and everything else that you observe. But the question is, so what? I mean, it's everywhere, but so what? And I'll give you the floor to answer this bigger question with the help of more specific ones. And the first one is, does media reflect society or shape it? And we'll be really happy if you joined. There are no wrong answers, as I said. So just your opinion, is it a reflection of society or is it something that is actively shaping it? You think both. Why? How is it both? I'm genuinely curious. I can't imagine it. You think alike. This is great. But again, why? How does it shape it and also influence it? In what ways, maybe? Yes, whether we want it or not, it has a big influence on us. But how do you notice this influence? Like, in what ways has media influenced you personally? Maybe as individuals or as youth workers or teachers, whatever your occupation is. How has it influenced you? It could be a specific example or a broad one. Doesn't matter.
I think I've seen in my work this as a youth worker, I've seen a lot of media shaping how we think outside of the direct world around us. Because we have this kind of dual idea of the world, of what directly is around us, and we also have the media showing us what is acceptable, what is good, what is wanted, but from a perspective that maybe sometimes is super far away from us. Like from a person from Bulgaria, having so much media from America in my life and in the lives of young people I work with, sometimes it seems like they live in two different realities, like in the reality here of what they have around them, and also in the reality of the American ecosystem, for example.
That's a very interesting point of view. Do you guys agree with that? These days, politicians and governments invest more in media to win narrative war, which clearly shows the significance of media and narratives. Yes, and that's exactly why we're digging into this topic because it's very important. It can influence not only our personal life but also the whole society. Emotions have a bigger influence than we would like to admit, maybe, and the media takes advantage of it. Yeah, that's an interesting point of view, though. Maybe we can see the second question, which is, how has media changed the way we perceive the world and ourselves? I kind of answered a part of this question for herself, but I would like to hear the rest of you too. How has it changed your perception of you, firstly? Because I can tell for sure that it has a big role since most of the communication with friends and the relatives even happens online, and this can be, I can feel the difference at least. And also unrealistic beauty standards, unrealistic standards for achievements, the non-stop comparison with others. It's everywhere, but especially on social media, since that's where people like to show off, maybe more than usually. Do you feel the same way, or is it completely different for you, maybe? Just by offering unattainable things for people to compare. Yes, comparison. Exactly. Great minds think alike. Media also has the power to shape perceptions positively. Like, for example, the Superman movie is 100% anti-colonialist and shows hope. So after watching it, people feel hope. However, sometimes when we keep seeing negative things on socials, we feel down. Yes, that's a fact too. That's why I stopped watching the news. I started reading them so I can choose what to read and not to stay away from. For instance, tragedies. They're often important to know that they're happening, but they're just this cloud of negativity that brings us down. Media has psychological impact concerning our mental health, behavioral, ethic norms, also shape public opinion and also affect the way we consume. Yes, that's absolutely true. So you answered basically both questions, the world and ourselves, since we are a part of this world. So which drives media influence more, facts or emotions? You kind of answered about this too, but maybe there are different opinions. So what do you think? What is the focus on media? The target us emotionally or just through strict facts? Both, because on the one hand, media reflects society by portraying existing mainstream or not values and norms, helping people understand the world around them. On the other hand, media shapes society by influencing opinions, spreading new ideas, and reinforcing or challenging cultural beliefs. Yes, that's great. Thank you for your opinions. Really, they're deep in the topic. Also, different countries have different results for the same prompt in search engines, so media can influence the way they want people to react. Yes, both, especially emotions, true, because we start associating faces and videos with stories and words. Okay, what is the idea behind this? Why they want to target especially emotions, in your opinion? Is this a more powerful tool for influence, or is it just easier to do so? Because people act more unreasonable and are easier to manipulate when stressed, sad, happy. Maybe we start relating more if we see photos and find it more realistic. Yes, these are psychology tricks that the media uses, and that's why the whole topic of the project is media literacy, because it is extremely important for exactly this reason, not to be manipulated. Also, the videos we watch make us feel empty and depressed after a while. I think this is because we are stuck in front of a motionless screen. Yes, because emotions like stress, sadness, or excitement can cloud judgment, making people more impulsive and easier to influence. You're all correct, at least in my opinion. Can say if somebody disagrees, but there is a great difference between people behind the screen and people in real life. This is also the way it influences the real communication face to face. It is maybe one of the negative sides of media development. But we'll see. As long as we are the ones who are responsibly using media, we will be fine. That's why we're doing this. But actually, can we truly escape bias in media? Because as you said, maybe the reason behind these biases is to spark emotions, to manipulate us easily. Is it possible to escape that? Have you escaped it? Do you think that you're doing a good job at this? Are you trying? In what ways? Anything that you want to share on this? I try to fact check info before letting it influence or impact me. That's great, really great. I fear not, at least not easily and without a great effort. Yes, it's difficult for sure. The media landscape is extremely complex, but fact checking is a great thing that we'll talk about a little bit more later on. Do you have any other ways dealing with misinformation, disinformation, or just biases? Also, I follow multiple sources, so I don't fall into bias or propaganda. Yes, this is a very well, a great answer. I mean, that's exactly what we should all do. Being informed by others in real life and by other sources of information, never relying only on one. Very good. This is exactly what we can talk about actually right now. Do you still see my screen, by the way? You should. I hope so. So, advanced media literacy and critical evaluation skills. Well, media literacy, as we just discussed, is not easy, but it helps us go beyond just spotting fake news. And this is an important part, but it also teaches us to think deeper. Who made this material? Why? What message are they really sending? And by building these critical thinking skills, we learn to spot bias, question power, and use media in responsible and smart ways. To be fair, this is a skill essential for every aspect of your life, not just in the digital realm. So we obviously can't cover everything, but we can hopefully spark your interest to go deeper and then research on your own. And I can tell you maybe three important rules, and then copying the methodology structure will have a practical activity. Do you remember theory and then practical activities? So number one that maybe you should always think about when you're in the digital landscape is to question everything. It is extremely important, as you already said it, to check your facts using two or even three independent sources of information, meaning resources that are not politically influenced, that are not all for the profit that they make, and are reliable. Official websites of European organs, international organizations, or national news agencies are significantly more reliable than yellow newspapers, let's say, right? Maybe you can type in the chat again or unmute yourself and tell me how you check your information. I mean, what are your favorite news sources? Or what websites? What maybe I don't know routers or just your national agency news agency. So you tell me what are your favorite sources of information. Now, number two, as a rule for today, maybe that you should think about constantly, is to look for clickbaits. That's why we had this question here, which drives media influence more facts or emotions? Because clickbaits, even if it's not disinformation, think about the intention behind published materials. The moment you catch yourself responding emotionally, rationalize what you've just seen, read, or heard, even. Because, as I said, even if it's objectively true, emotions can easily distort the real meaning, and sometimes this is the intention. You said it yourself, it's easier to manipulate the mass when we're driven by emotion and not reason. So, number three, let's say, it's very related to the activity that we'll be doing. But you probably don't even realize how much you use artificial intelligence. This is the topic that we'll focus on for the next minutes. But it's everywhere, and it has been for some time. Even your GPS is using artificial intelligence, and you probably don't think about this quite often. But now the problem is that AI has, I mean, is getting into the news sector too, and spotting fake news is becoming more and more challenging. So there are a few things we can do in order to differentiate human intelligence and artificial intelligence. Do you maybe know what you should look for when you have some doubt that maybe this is not real? Maybe you can answer in the chat and then I'll tell you what we know about this. They want to hear your tools to
For the newcomers, we're really active in chat. So join us and tell us what you think about the AI and how you spot AI and fake news in media.
Yeah, it could be for the headlines or AI generated images. This is what our activity will be focused on, the generated images. But there are other ways that you can be, that AI can spread this information. So reverse AI search. Put the image on the search engine and you know where it's from. This is a good method. I tried it yesterday in an AI. Well, it was maybe I can even find the name of the website, but it doesn't matter. It was specifically to spot AI generated images, and I'll tell you honestly, it failed. It didn't do the right job. Maybe you have some websites that actually work or apps. You can type them in the chat too, but they're not, as far as we know, they're not 100% reliable either. This is the rising ethical dilemma of deepfakes, that there is still not artificial intelligence that can spot like 100% reliably, as I said, artificial intelligence. This is not fully developed yet. Is to look for turns of phrases that don't sound natural. Yes, that is absolutely true. There are also some AI tools which give an AI scored content. I'm not sure how reliable they are. Yes, they said there are, but I wouldn't count on them, let's say. When something is too perfect or feel uncomfortable, we can check the source. Yes, and we all should do that. There are other tricks that are more specific, and to be honest, it's not easy. And the images that we have for the game are not easy to guess either, but I'm sure you'll do great. I will share with you the tricks, the tips and tricks first. So one thing you can look for is texture inconsistencies. AI often struggles with realistic surfaces. Let's say maybe something in the background can look like it's melting or repeated patterns, especially in grass, clouds, skin, or clothing. And second thing, AI still isn't that good at generating people. As you said, skin texture is something that you can spot easily when it looks too perfect. But also sometimes it's the opposite. People and animals can look can have extra fingers, distorted eyes, twisted limbs, mismatched earrings, and stuff like that. So this is a strong hint, but another one that is more difficult to catch, but it's very important because AI is getting better at generating people and animals, but it still struggles with lightning. So shadows may fall in the wrong way, not exist, or be too soft. So then, of course, AI still struggles with real world words and signs. So you can look for gibberish, asymmetrical letters and numbers, misspellings. Maybe you've seen some images like this one that are just complete gibberish, and that's how you can tell that it's not a real image. So the tricky part is that you can often mistake it with Photoshop because AI tends to create images, as we already said, too perfect, overly smooth, skin texture, unrealistically clean nature composition. But they're, yeah, always the AI detectors. As we said, they're not 100% reliable. That's why we'll try to be the detectors on our own. And now it's your turn. I will be showing you images, and you can say or type your opinion whether you think they are actual photographs or AI generated images. So this is Spot the Artificial Intelligence. This is your first image. So you have some time to tell me your opinion and maybe why you feel like this is whatever it is, one spell. And maybe, yes, I can zoom because details are extremely important when we're dealing with AI generated images. So take a good look and then decide. Let's say that you had enough time to look at it. The roots on the left look like they're on the outside of the land, or I just can't see and it's shrubs, but it might be fake. So the roots on the left, I'll zoom again. I suppose this is what you're talking about, and this is a very good observation. Good job. Does anyone notice something else, something that is off, or the opposite, something that is telling them that this is a real photograph?
So you can write in the chat your final thoughts. AI or reality?
I'll zoom again.
I think it's overwhelmingly AI, AI, AI.
Okay. Okay, I'll trust you with this. I won't be looking at the answers. They will give you the answer. Good job. It is AI, but do you have any ideas why? Maybe I can look at your answers. Looks real to me. Yes, it looks real to me too, but when you look at it closely, there are some giveaways. But what are they? Can anyone tell, like, justify their answer? Weird shapes of trees and branches. Yes, that is probably the easiest way to spot AI in this picture particularly. But also, do you remember we talked about the lightning, the shadows, and in these pictures, the sky is bright, but at the same time, many areas are dimmed oddly, as if the light direction is confused a little bit. So AI often fakes light gradients without a solid understanding of where the sun is positioned. I hadn't received the link until now. It just arrived in the latest email. I'm currently outside and without headphones, so it's difficult to follow the meeting. I hope. Yeah, don't worry about that, Matt. You can just observe, and whenever you feel comfortable, you can text in the chat too. This is how we communicate mostly. So either way, it's good. So yeah, this is you did good. Better than I did in the first time I played the game. So maybe we can take a look at the second image. You can tell me what you think about it. So this is it. I'll zoom again and I'll be waiting for your answers.
I think it's more mixed this time.
Okay, let's take a look. The whole thing looks weird, but I think it might be real. The shapes are very odd, but the lightning seems okay. Yes, the lightning is indeed okay. It's probably I the lines at some point do not make sense or not natural, nor the coloring. Yeah, it doesn't look real though. Well, to be honest, these are the wonders of nature. This image is real, it's not AI, as you already mentioned. The lightning seems okay. About the shapes, let me take a look. This is just, well, not good at geography, but we did study about how these are formed. Maybe someone else can tell us. And it does look unreal, but there are no giveaways that can tell you that it's AI. There is nothing blurry or completely unnatural. Even in the background, everything is there. There is the surface is realistic, I would say. But yes, whenever you have any questions, you can also ask them. But this is real. So, next one. Zooming again. This looks delicious, whether it's real or not. I like it.
On the topic of good morning, whoever hasn't had breakfast,
Yeah.
this. For the ones writing AI, why do you think so?
Yeah, justify your answers, please. I mean, it can also be just your inner self telling you that this something is off about this. Is intuition is also a good tool. You know, there are also other giveaways that are more certain, more reliable, let's say. The flower and the lemon piece look somewhat odd, I guess. Okay. The lemon just doesn't look real. The lime is very weirdly shaped to me, like smooshed but unnaturally. It looks not realistic. Okay. Mhm. Also, all the dots in the egg and avocado probably should be seasoning or pepper, but it looks too perfectly spread out. The lime looks weird. But this is a great reasoning too, because it's I mean, you are correct. It is AI. And for several reasons. You said it yourself. It looks too perfectly spread out, even the avocado, everything. And also, in real photography, there is I mean, you can always see actually the opposite. You can't see when where the picture becomes more blurred in the background. I mean, the focus is here, obviously, but the transition should be gradual, and it's often bit a bit the farther an object is from the focus point. But in this case, do you see how exactly here the transition is not smooth at all? The focus is perfect here, and then just from here it's all blurred out, and there is nothing gradual about that. So this is another takeaway. And in the real lightings, you can also look in the background here. Real lighting shadows often pick up some colors from nearby object, like the wooden table or the yellow flowers, etc. But in this case, well, they're just soft and grayish with no warmth or tone from the surrounding. This is maybe a bit more difficult to notice, but the other things that you mentioned are also absolutely on point. They look too perfectly spread out, and the lime is weirdly shaped. Something is off about it, and stuff like that. They are completely adequate observations. So, good job. You're actually doing a great job. So we can go to the next image, which are these headphones that look like they're from a commercial. And remember what I told you, that sometimes Photoshop looks like AI and the other way around. So think, is it maybe just a little bit edited, or is it completely generated from artificial intelligence? And why?
when you do zoom in and out, it does look like a commercial a little bit.
It was not my intention at all, but you see how media has changed the way you think, how you perceive things.
I'm seeing a lot of AI in the chat.
Okay, can you tell me why? Like one reason? Because it does look perfect, but that's why I mentioned that it could be Photoshop too. Why is it AI completely? Yeah. Yeah, the blue light at the back of the headband doesn't make sense. The light source seems off. The two lights in the front look like there's light being reflected directly towards it, but the light in the back is coming in diagonally. Wow, you are really good. I mean, this is absolutely on spot. I mean, an easy way to think about it is that there are two sources of light, a blue and a white one, as you can see. And then we would expect two shadows that, I mean, maybe should overlap. But the shadows on the surface below are not split or directional. Instead, they appear smooth, symmetrical, and softly rounded, like from a single light source, not two distinct ones. Also, if a strong blue light, as it is on the picture, is hitting the sides of the headphones, then areas near that light should be brighter or have reflected blue highlights. But in the picture, this blue light has no effect on the surrounding surface. It's strictly this dot and this one here, which is, yeah, unrealistic. And you said it too, it doesn't make sense how it is positioned. So, really good job. We have, I think, two more, so you'll nail these two. What do you think about this girl? And I'm not doing a commercial on the girl. I'll just zoom again.
We did this game also in person. I think it's everyone's favorite game to spot the is it AI or is it real human, especially when it's people on the screen. So
Yes, it is interesting. And again, because the first thing that you would mention is that the girl looks too perfect. I mean, the skin texture and so on, so on. But again, tell me why it isn't just edited, why it's not Photoshop, but it's completely fake. Because Photoshop can do the same thing, just smooth out your skin, make you appear perfect. So you should think about differentiating the two and see the background, everything. It's so hard to choose. I think she's real. For
Are
you.
people hesitating more for the person?
What?
Yeah, I was thinking people are hesitating more if it's AI or if it's real.
Yes. Because her hair looks too smooth and fuzzy. Okay, the space between the back and leg is too blurry. Maybe real with AI editing. Her nose does not look real. I really like your answers because they're really concrete and we can tell that you're thinking about them, which is great, really. AI filter on real person. Okay, I have maybe a follow-up question. What do you think about the background? Let's say here. What is this in your opinion? You said that the space between. Hmm. Is this the space that someone mentioned that it looks too blurry? Maybe this one. So what do you think about it? Has been better nowadays creating the bulk effect. Oh, of shallow depth of field. I'm being very optimistic. Luna Park or a stadium? Seaside ports. Yeah, we have different opinions on this too. Maybe Alexander can give me more information about this effect. It sounds interesting, so feel free to explain if you want to. What is it and how did you think of it now in this picture? The background looks quite blurry indeed, and the red lights don't look very realistic, natural either. I really like your your line of thoughts. So maybe on final AI or real, you can type your answers in the chat so we can see if you're correct. Okay, we have one answer. I'll bring it back so we can take a final look. Mm, One answer. Maybe the rest of you are not so certain, suppose. So I will, oh no, another AI. Okay, it is indeed AI, which is crazy to me because it's a whole person, and the ones that I tried to generate are really. I mean, I feel bad for them. They have a lot of fingers missing, or as we said, mismatched proportions of face and stuff like that. But she looks amazing. So how could you tell? You had some really good guesses. So yes, the background is too blurry, and I don't know about you, but I'm not. I can't really tell what that is, and you weren't sure either. I mean, there were two. different opinions on set a Luna Park or the seaside. So yeah, that's just a strange background, let's say. But that's not the real giveaway. It's just something that makes us feel like this is off. But as you can see, there is a strong, warm light source, like orange to yellow, coming from behind and above her. And her face and white t-shirt are lit, but there are no distinct shadows cast from her body onto the background in any way, or even onto herself, because you can't really see the background, but onto herself, like her arms, neck. Normally, there would be harsh shadow lines where her head blocks the light from hitting her shoulders or the wall behind her, but also the strands of her hair that are falling across her face, no shadows cast by the hair either, or not on her cheek or forehead or neck, anywhere. So yes, this it's a tricky one. It does look just simply edited, but this girl does not exist. That's unfortunate. So we can go to the last picture, which is this one. I've never been skiing, but so I don't really know how it should look. But you'll tell me, maybe you have.
This is like full confidence, real, real, real. And Alexander was there.
Okay,
Can you tell
why?
us why? Why do you think it's real? I love this response. I don't think AI can handle such randomness.
Well, this is actually a good response because it does have difficulties doing exactly that. The chaotic randomness of nature. No, it's difficult to represent that. I was there. Okay. That's a good answer too. So, are these your final thoughts? Does anyone think that this is AI for whatever reason, or is just is unsure? This one looks real too, but it looks like the snow on this person's knees somehow ended up being in a rectangular shape. Okay, let me zoom. Well, I haven't been skiing, as I said, but pretty sure that it is easier for the snow to like stick to different surfaces. Like the skiing outfits, I'm pretty sure that they're not meant for the snow to stick on it mostly. That's why the rest of the costume is hasn't doesn't have any snow on it. But I don't know. You'll tell me about this because I'm an uneducated skier. If that's the horizon, then that tree behind is growing weird. Titled.
Tilted.
Tilted. Tilted. Oh yeah, tilted. Okay, okay. Fair enough. The brand name on the sticks are also realistic. Okay, let me zoom on the trees. There are a lot of ones. I did spoil it. I don't know if you saw it, but a lot of them are tilted indeed. But whenever I've been to the mountains, I see this quite often. I don't know about you, because the whole area is tilted, so they can't grow in a straight line, I suppose. But yes, thank you for the opinions again. We can see the answer that maybe you already did, but it is real. There is nothing, at least the way I see it, suspicious about it. The lightning is also okay. I mean, the sky is cloudy, diffusing sunlight, and therefore creating some softer shadows. But there is texture in the snow, everywhere in the snow, which is difficult for AI to create. And the clothes, there are even letters on them that are not in any way distorted or weird looking. As we said, AI has difficulties with text, although it is getting better. So yeah, it's difficult. It's difficult to look at it. So this was the AI or not game, AI or real. Maybe you'll tell us your feedback at the end. Now we'll dive into something completely different that has nothing to do with
I I may have slightly changed it in the last minute.
what?
If you can click through on the next one. Yeah, so it is still the game that we wanted to play in small groups, but since we've been talking about spotting AI images, I changed it just a little bit. So if you want, you can, yeah, you can keep going. I just changed the premise just a little bit.
Okay, good. Oops. One. Let me take a look. Good. So it does have a lot to do with AI. That's great. So we're on the same track the whole time. You won't be getting distracted by different topics. So in small groups, you create a short, accessible news message that explains how to spot an AI image to a young person with a disability. So I'll explain it a little bit further with the next slide. So there are a lot of disabilities that are overlooked, and we talked about inclusive journalism and inclusive media, but do you feel like it is indeed inclusive for, let's say, people with color blindness or autism or PTSD, whatever it is? There are short explanations of the ones that we have uh, chosen, like ADHD is attention deficit or hyperactivity disorder, and it affects the focus, impulse control, and activity levels for over hyperactive. PTSD, mental health condition triggered by experiencing or witnessing a traumatic event, and it could be anything. Maybe sometimes just strong and sudden change in the lightning can trigger something in a person. So this is also important to note. And blindness, of course, this is the loss of vision. It can be complete loss or partial, but in either way, it's something that media does not target enough, at least in my opinion. Then we have autism, neurodevelopmental disorder characterized by differences and difficulties in social communication and interaction. There are a lot of different ways that this can be, you can notice this in a person, but most of them, yeah, they have difficulties with social communication and interaction. Color blindness. Visual condition where a person has difficulty distinguishing certain colors, most often red and green, but not only. So there are obviously way more disabilities out there, and at least the way I see it, media should think about all of them, because for journalism and for media to serve the public good, it must reflect the diversity of the society it reports on, and the society is indeed quite diverse. So now you will be ethical journalists, ethical content creators, and we'll separate you in groups in different rooms where you'll have to create whatever you feel like is going to be suitable for a person with uh, this condition. Let's say if a person is blind, I suppose that maybe a visual material will not be a good idea. This is the most obvious example, but you have to just really put yourself in the shoes of the other person and think about how they would want to perceive media, what they would want to see, and the topic that you have is, yeah, how to spot an AI image to a young person with a disability. That's what you have to explain through some kind of material, whatever you decide. It could be an infographic, it could be just an image, even a short text, if that's what's appropriate for, in your opinion. It could be done entirely through voice messages or whatever it is. You talk to each other, decide, then create it. You'll have some time. I will separate you. But firstly, is there anything that you don't understand about this task?
Maybe while Emma is separating you, I can give a few more words about why we're doing this because a lot of you weren't here in the beginning. So Emma, you can make the breakout rooms, and in the meantime, I'm just going to chat a little bit about the Voice Project. So this webinar is a part of the Voice Project, and it's a project that is funded by the Erasmus Plus program. And in it, we're focusing on media literacy and how to make media literacy and media creation accessible for young people, also young people with disabilities. So this is a topic that we've been working on with partners from 4 different countries aside from us. We're from Bulgaria. And with partners from Romania, from Spain, from Slovakia, and from Slovenia. We've been creating different materials, and I will send you later on in an email some links that you can follow and see all the materials that we have created that can help you in this process. The activity that we did before with AI or Real is also something that we think is a really good step into the topic. So maybe this is something that you can do with the youngsters that you work with. But this activity is also something fun, and if you don't end up creating a whole material, maybe at least you can draft some idea and share it with us later. So even if it's not the end result, you can just brainstorm a material that you think would be useful. That would still be cool. So yeah, Emma, giving back to you.
Still, is there anything that is not clear or you would like more information about anything? You can also ask us anytime. I've turned on this option that you can return to the main session at any time. But you have 15 minutes to create your material, then present it shortly. Just talk to each other and think about the other person, not only in the breakout room, but about people with disabilities. So you'll see the number of your group at the bottom, now at the top of the screen. Let's say breakout room number 1, and I'll still be presenting the presentation. So you see number 1 is ADHD, I think. So you work on that, thinking about creating a message for a person with ADHD. Okay? Let's hope so. Creating them. You've been invited to join the breakout rooms, and you just have to click that you're joining it.
So Alexandra, hi, welcome. You just joined. We're doing an exercise in groups. So I think we can assign you to one. And what we're doing is creating media material for a youngster who has some kind of a disability. And the media material is aimed at telling them how they can spot AI images. If you want, you can join and see if the brainstorming in the group helps you in some way and it's interesting to you.
Nice. I'm assigning you to a group, and whenever you have any questions, you can ask us in the chat.
Hello.
Hello.
Sorry. I'm at lunch at work with some work colleagues. I just passed to look a little.
No worries.
Yeah, that's okay.
Sorry.
Hello, guys. Just checking in to see if everything is okay, if you're working on the material, and how is it? Do you need help with anything? Hello. How's
Hello.
it going for you? Do you need help with anything? Just checking in.
So we were thinking of making something in Canva.
That's great. Canva, I love Canva.
Yeah. Something really simple because people on the spectrum they don't like bright colors or like really big noises. So we will do an infograph, really something really simple on Canva.
Mm-hmm. That's a very good idea. So you have your direction,
Yeah.
and then you will be able to share it. So it doesn't have to be very detailed or anything, just whatever you feel like. So good luck. See you soon.
And just one more question.
Mhm.
So is it okay if it would it if it will look like a checklist with like tips and tricks
Yes,
or
for sure. Whatever you feel like is appropriate. In my opinion, this is great too.
and
Checklists are great, especially for people on the spectrum, to be honest. They are really straight to the point, which helps them. Yeah.
thank you. And also, it should be about explaining how to spot AI both in like pictures and image and text. Or
Specifically for pictures, because that's what we talked about. But if you have any tips on text, that's great too. You can include them. It's okay. But yeah, you can focus on the pictures.
okay, thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you too. Hi, do you hear me? Alexandra and Manuela?
Hello, hello.
Hello. So, what we're doing now is creating some kind of materials, like a content, whatever you feel like is appropriate for certain specific groups of people that are marginalized, like people with ADHD or with blindness, with color blindness. So we're doing this in breakout rooms. Maybe the rest can of the people in the breakout rooms can explain if there is anything unclear. But I will assign you to a breakout room and you can work with the rest. Is that okay?
Yes.
Okay, great.
I don't know if this is going to be enough time, but we can check in with them when they're back.
We can give them more time. Nargis, do you hear us? That you just joined? So we can explain what we're doing. You can join the rest of the participants.
Or because we don't have that much time, maybe we don't. Okay, there's low connection. Maybe because we don't have that much time, maybe we can bring them back once the time is over and we can see what they were thinking. And maybe they don't have the final product, but we can continue with how it was imagined.
Okay. Should we still assign Nargis to a group?
There is 2 more seconds left.
Oh, okay, yeah. We're closing them.
Okay. Nargis, which room were you in? And they're closing anyway in 1 minute. Yeah.
Close them either way. But you can present with the rest of the people too.
The rooms are closing anyway, Nargis, so it's okay. Okay, I think the minute is over and everyone is back. Nice. Welcome back, everyone. So how did it go? Did you manage to talk about the topic in your group?
And how did you like it? What challenges did you face? Anything that you feel like sharing?
We managed to talk for a bit, but we haven't really finished yet. We still need a bit more time to like put everything in Canva because we have things written down, but not really in a very attractive way.
Maybe because we don't want to keep you too long, maybe what we can do is present from each group can kind of share, like one person can share how it went and what you had as an idea. And if you want to finish your product, maybe you can also chat later and nobody speaks in the third group. Okay, sorry. But yeah, from the different groups, maybe we can hear what you had as an idea and what was your consideration and what you wanted to do, even if you didn't finish it. So who was in the first group? Maybe we can hear from someone in the first group.
Hello. I can
Hi.
say like overall what we managed to do.
Yeah.
So we had the ADHD task, and it's not finished yet. But yeah, it went pretty well. We managed to talk about the topic. There was a small problem in the beginning because we didn't properly understand the task, but then you explained it to us, and it was good. And for the idea itself, we said we should create materials that are not very uh, dense in information. Like we should make it easy to keep track on, so people that can really focus on could also read it. We thought we wouldn't use many colors as well to keep their focus, and that was overall what we managed to talk about. Again, we really didn't have that much time.
Yeah, no, that's cool. Thank you for sharing.
Considerate. This is exactly how we should all proceed whenever we create something and we want it to be inclusive and accessible. Just think about all the aspects and you have. So I'm happy to hear it.
Nice. Someone from group 2 maybe wants to share?
Sorry, can I speak? I'm Vasiliki from second group. Okay, in fact, unfortunately, we didn't finish, but we discussed that it would be good to use something positive, calm, to not provoke any negative feelings or trauma because it was about a person with PTSD. Maybe it would be good to use a picture of a sunset or sea or something from nature. Yes, this was the first thought, the first option, but unfortunately we didn't finish it.
Nice. Don't worry. I think it needed some more time, but also in this format, we weren't sure if all the groups would be okay like this. So maybe this is something that you can think about the next time you're also creating a material for your organization as well. Nice. Thank you for sharing.
Yes, and the intention is important that you have thought about it through. That's, to be honest, more important. Even if you didn't finish, probably no one did because there is not enough time. But we'll see. Someone else maybe who would like to share now.
So us for group 4 wanted to make a Canva sort of guide with simple, straightforward tips and tricks for young people with autism. And we were thinking of making the design simple, like maybe just a background with pastel or muted colors, because from what I know, certain colors can be triggering for certain people with autism. So we need to take this into account when we design the infographic or checklist. And we were also thinking of, for example, giving a quick, short explanation, such as look at how many fingers there are in the picture. How many fingers does the person have in a picture? Does it look natural? Does it look unnatural? Something like this, but way better worded than I'm wording it right now. And then just have a picture showing, the kind of AI generated images with people having 6, 7 fingers, and exemplifying the tips and tricks with images so that it's easier to follow. And we didn't manage to finish the Canva yet, but we have the main ideas.
It sounds great in my opinion. And if you still want to share the draft, even if it's not finished, if there is something that we can look at, you can share it too. If not, that's okay too, because you did share it verbally.
We just managed to sketch a few ideas. I didn't get to make the Canva in a presentable way yet.
It's important to grasp the idea, not for it to be perfect. So that's okay too. Thank you. Is anyone else? Maybe from group number 3, I think that no one joined.
Yeah, Martina sent me a message instead, and I really like the detailed approach you took. Do you want to share just an overview of what you have?
Can I say something? Hello.
First,
Hi.
Yeah, I was thinking about I use Canva, but I still not managed to do all with infographic, which I think it's a good idea. But for certain
people, maybe it's better to have like a contrast, like very simple thing, but not too unrealistic. So one picture is with some idea, it's real, and another is AI. So presented in the way that it will be very clear what to see. So maybe like a blur background, for example, or the I don't know, as we mentioned about people that it managed to look unreal, something like that. But very simple idea, and not too much. Maybe one poster of a big one, like A3, a form post 4 picture with the contrast and with a clear sign what to see, like background, maybe object on the photo, something like that. I know it's very simple for my student too, which is not a which is mostly are typical. Okay.
Yeah, thank you too for sharing. No, it shouldn't be anything complicated in general, not only for this task, but in the
In
digital
general,
realm.
yes.
Sometimes
Yes.
simplicity is the right choice. So, and
Yeah,
easy to think
to
about
make
that.
a point, certainly, and to like, and then inspire pupils to apply in the real world.
Yes.
Thank you.
No, thank you all for this task. I hope it was somewhat enjoyable or challenging, interesting. You will be able to share now with the feedback that, so I'm handing you over to Raya.
So I just wanted to, because I think Martina wanted to share something, so I'm
Of
giving
course.
her over the word.
Sorry, go on.
Yeah.
That's great. Do you want to share?
Hello. Hi. I write you a message, so I will read. Okay. Okay. I was.
If you want, you can just give some of the highlights because I saw that it's like you went pretty thorough.
I was in group 3, but we didn't speak. I don't know what happened. And I write my a practical example. I will tell you a practical example from my work of this school year. I was a teacher in one project in national level, wooden souvenir for sustainable tourism. And in that project, my students created wooden souvenir keychains, and they made that from the wood. And that souvenir is special because it includes important information written in Braille written name. And because of that, this souvenir is very accessible to the people who don't see or see very low. And in the after the whole activities of the project, at the end, we have also presentation audio recording because we want to have like other projects that our final project is adaptable to all people to see, to watch, and to hear. And also this project include people with special needs. Our key chains are colored by the students from the special center in our region called the Jure Bonacci. They paint with colors, different colors that key chains. And with that activity, we also include the people with special needs. And that is, I think, a very big success for us, because in the last activities we have activities in the in the school of special needs in one classroom, and my students from my secondary school came to the students from this schools of special needs, and they worked together on the final product to make colors, to paint. In this situation, my students were watching, and these students from Jure Bonaci showed them how to paint this K chains. And after all, they put in the all together that products and make one audio recording film for the end of our project. So I think that all activities that we made in project can be adaptable to all, with just maybe few more steps, like making audio recording, or making some text on braille written, or making visual effects. And in that way, and using, of course, AI, we can make something for all of us in our today world, I think, because I think students work very good together with different kind of possibilities and knowledge. From this project, we have 3 schools together. One is School of Wooden Techniques. My school is Economics. And this third school was a School of Special Needs Kids. So together they make something very good. And this K chains is in our touristic boards. We can also now give them that K chains, and they can sell them. So people can buy that souvenirs, and people buying that because all the money goes to the School of Special Needs for their class of paintings. You know, they buying colors and other stuff for the working in that class.
That's wonderful.
Yes.
Thank you. Thank you for
Yes.
sharing, Kosa. That's really nice,
So-
and definitely a different approach
Yes.
to how we create and how we can co-create.
Yeah.
So I'm happy you did that.
Yes. We have materials and financial support from our Ministry of Tourism. Every year, Ministry of Tourism have something like this to have a proposal for the projects, and all projects which are include something special, people with a lower position always pass. Now, of course, we need to work together and get final project. So for all these activities, we get financial support from our ministry. So it was a very good for us, and very possible to make all these activities. You know, everything is costs. Yes. So I don't know. Is this for this webinar so close? But I think for some position it is. Yes.
I definitely saw your point, and really thanks for that. It's great that you also have support in this, and in general, it makes me hopeful that there are such initiatives like this one too. So if we had more time, it would be very good to exchange experience. But now we can go straight to the feedback, and then you can also share what you liked and what you didn't. But Raya will facilitate it. So we can give her the floor. But again, thank you all for sharing.
Yeah. No, this is really wonderful, and I'm glad for all the different points of view. And I think our point with this workshop was mostly to put ourselves in other people's shoes and to imagine how, because we create media all the time. We create, doesn't matter if it's like the keychains that you had in mind, or the posts we make on social media, or whatever we make as organizations and as youth workers, we create a lot of media for young people. And it's important to step out of our shoes and to step into some other people's shoes so that we can create media that is also accessible for them. So I hope that helped you and helped you get some different points of view. And I'm going to ask you generally, do you have like an overall thought after this workshop, something that you want to keep or something that you want to take with you? Like a one thing that you want to take with you after our short 2-hour webinar?
It could be anything, really.
Yes, I like the presented ideas, and congratulations to have his support and so much co-worker. It's not always about the idea. It's also when people support that and join forces to achieve that goal. So, great, thank you.
Thank you so much.
And I would like to learn Braille letters language. I'm not sure whether I can do that in my country.
I'm sure if you search it in your native language, something will pop up as an opportunity. But that's wonderful that you want to
Maybe in
learn.
the region in general. So
You can
Nice.
always go in Croatia, at least. I'm sorry, we have the Tiflological Museum, and they have schools for that.
yeah, nice. In Zagreb or?
In Zagreb, yeah.
Yeah, nice.
Nice.
Thank you.
That's quick help. Nice. Thank you, Irma. You wrote uncertainty. Do you mean uncertainty about AI, about something else?
About AI, about very much all the sources that are out there, and just not being able to know what's fake news, what people are peddling for their own agenda or for profit or something, and what is actual. Because I feel like the worst part about the current situation with media and everything is that people's opinions pass as fact, and that's the thing that's not being checked. So that's just uncertainty on all aspects, I guess. But the AI or not game was amazing. I really liked it to actually look at it from a different perspective and be like, okay, let's second guess every detail. So it was a great game. Thank you for that.
Thank you. And I really feel what you said about this uncertainty. I feel the same way. And it's one of those things when you open social media and you encounter something and then you have that filter on and you
Yeah.
start also doubting everything.
Yes, very much. Very much so, yeah.
Yeah. We saw it also in the last picture, which was real, but everyone now with the AI glasses
Yeah.
is like, is it real? That tree, that person.
Quadruple guessing, yeah.
Yeah.
But better that than just taking it for granted, as is not guessing it also.
I agree.
Yeah.
We have the whole very interesting webinar. Well done. Thank you. Thank you. Nice. Vasilki, right? I'm happy that you enjoyed it. If we, Emma, can you switch to the last slide? Just in that regard, and also Irma, with what you said, we've created a lot of suggestions for workshops that you can do with young people on these topics because we know that it's a topic that is creating, I don't know, like for you, for us too, this feeling of uncertainty and not knowing how to approach it. And I think it's really important that we have a lot of conversations with young people, but also with our colleagues about these topics, about media literacy, about fake news, about how we engage with media, what kind of media consumption for us is related to like an emotional stimuli and like our emotional response instead of understanding the world. So we created in the website ethicaljournalism.eu, you can find all the materials that we've created in our project, in the Voice project. And you can also grab some other ideas like the one we made with the AI or real kind of workshop that you can do easily with young people. We've created some podcasts, we've created some educational posts on Instagram. All of it you can see if you scan the QR code. And I hope with the uncertainty that is around us, maybe you can also grab a little bit of hope from today's webinar, that with a little bit of thought, you were really good at finding what is real and what is AI. So I think when we think about these things and when we are aware, we're pretty good at finding reality. And I'm sure you can also be really good at teaching young people how to do that as well. So yes, thank you very much. Irma, you wanted to say something?
No, I just wanted to thank you again. Yeah, but that's I was just checking out the Instagram through the QR codes, and thank you as well. I'm gonna check out the sites because it's gonna be great to have some. I didn't have a chance to introduce myself in the beginning. Everyone, we started with a different topic. I work with in the Red Cross with volunteers, so I'm gonna be happy to have some workshop material to be able to spread around. Yeah, so thank you again.
Nice, thank you. We've been working with the Red Cross here in Bulgaria too, sometimes with the Youth Red Cross, and they're a wonderful group to do workshops with. Very engaged young people.
That's true, ours as well, so I'm looking forward to it. Nice.
Nice. Great. I will send you all an email with these links as well, so that if you didn't manage to scan them now, or if you lose them, you can keep them. For anyone who needs a certificate of attendance, you can write me a message, because I see that not everyone who is here has their name as is like the registration and as you would want it. Vasiliki, for you, I know, because we exchanged some emails about this. But if someone else from the participants wants a certificate of attendance, please write me a quick email and I will send it to you as soon as I can. And yes, if you have any other questions, you can write me an email. I'll be happy to keep in touch. Thank you so much to Emma, who's been working on this project and is very passionate about this topic. And thank you all for participating and giving your opinions and writing in the chat and being such wonderful participants. I hope you have a really good afternoon and evening.
Have a great afternoon from me too, and stay tuned and stay informed. Thank you for joining us, really. It was a pleasure.
Thank you. Thank you too. Nie zatwierdzamy. Tak.
Hello.
So,
Hi. Thank you.
Yes,
We're just
hello,
finishing with the meeting. Yes. Thank you.
Bye.
bye.
Bye bye.
Bye.
Да, накрая го махнах аз.
Better.
Може да приключиш рекординга?
Oops.
Добре.